All right, I'm going to walk you through how to use Stripe to take payments because the thing is, most people think that you need a developer to integrate Stripe with your website or something along those lines. The really nice thing about Stripe is that it integrates through a lot of apps so that you can take payments through apps. We use it through a tracking software called Coachific. It integrates the billing there. The clients can securely pay for their membership on Coachific. But if you're at this point not working with a high volume of clients, the best thing to do is when you're on this video chat initial call with your client, at the end of it, just get their credit card details from them, write it down, and then you can actually create the customer in Stripe. So essentially, let's say that you just finished your initial call with a new potential one-on-one client. You got their credit card details. What you're going to end up doing is you're going to come in and you're going to create a customer. So we'll create our first customer here. This customer will be just me. So here I am, Mr. Matt Walrath. All right. Now, what I can do here is I can then add in Matt's payment details. So if I come into here, go to add a card, I would just type in the card number, whatever it happens to be. This is obviously not a real card number, but just so that you see. But yeah, you add all that and then you click add card. It's not going to let me do it, obviously. And if you get their bank account information instead of credit card, you can add bank account, things of that nature. Now, since I don't have any subscriptions set up just yet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a subscription. So this is going to be your membership rate that will be recurring. You always want to set up recurring payments so that you don't have to remember to run the payment, and you definitely don't want to send invoices because, to be honest, I've sent invoices before and we've had flaky clients who just put it off and ghost us. And, we're like, oh, whatever, if they miss a week, miss 2 weeks, whatever. That's understandable. Maybe they didn't get paid, something like that, and then they just don't pay. That's no good. So you always want to set up recurring payments. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to billing. We're going to go to products. This is where you're going to be able to create the subscription. So the product name is going to be your coaching plan, whatever it's called. You don't need to do these things, but this is going to be on their bank. So usually what I'll do is put like Beyond Macros Coaching. That way there's no confusion and you're not going to get a payment dispute. You don't want that to be some like random thing that your client's going to look at their credit card statement and be like, what the heck is 43526Z8? That's a scam, and then dispute the charge. Make it clear. So plan nickname, we'll call this monthly one-to-one coaching, whatever you want to call it. It'll create an ID. It's going to be recurring. Choose your currency. And then from there, we're going to set up the price. So let's say it's $225 per unit. The billing interval, you can do monthly. If you want to do it every 30 days, what you can do is you can go to custom and then do 30 days. That way it smooths things out. That way if someone joins in February, they're not getting free days of coaching. And then if you want, you can set a trial period, things of that nature. So we add the pricing plan. Beautiful. And now in order to actually get your client on the pricing plan, we'll go back to customers. We'll find Matt. And then we're going to add the subscription. Oops, moved a little too fast there. So we go to subscriptions, add a subscription. And then we're going to find it. Let's see. All right. Add the product, select the product. There we go. Beautiful. Everything looks good. Doesn't have a payment, but we'll go to start subscription. And it's going to say, yeah, couldn't perform this because there's no billing stuff. But when you click start subscription and you actually have a real client there, that's going to start the subscription. So that's the best way that you can use this is what's called a virtual terminal, where you get the credit card information from your client and then you key it in manually. The other great thing about Stripe is that the cost for transaction, especially manually keying in the transactions, is way, way lower than most of those like Square and some of those point of sale systems. They have really good rates, really fair rates on credit processing, which is super nice. So that's the way that you can set up and manage those things. And then if we come to billing, the way that you can manage subscriptions, products where you set up the subscription, subscriptions where you manage the subscription. So you can go in, since I don't have an active person here, I can't show it to you necessarily, but this is where you can cancel subscriptions, things of that nature. So this is where you can do your client management. And it's really nice too, because you'll see here, this is a sub account, so it doesn't have any actual data, but it shows you, what your revenue is over the course of weeks, months, whatever it happens to be. And the cool thing is that based off of having recurring payments, how much money to expect, which is quite nice. And there's some other really cool reports that you can actually run on Stripe to see like what your customer retention is, average retention, things of that nature. So when you're going through your key performance indicators, Stripe can actually be quite helpful. And there's other cool things about Stripe where it integrates with Zapier. And so if you want to set up a automation where when you cancel somebody's subscription on Stripe, then it removes tags on your email service provider so that they no longer look like an active client. If you want to set up a Zap so that when you cancel somebody's subscription, it removes them from, a membership site that you have or something like that. You can use Zapier to, take triggers from Stripe, which are very helpful. I use a number of them, and actually create automations to just make your life so much easier. But yeah, Stripe is amazing, and you don't need to have a highly experienced developer to use it. It actually has a pretty easy to use interface, and then it integrates well with apps that you might use for tracking that you can take payment with.